Tommy, Ollie Wan's a pretty good one for the bits we could see. How do you go with the training session after that?
Yeah, he got through the full session, so obviously now it's a medical decision and team selection wise. So I think he completed most of the session, felt pretty comfortable out there. So whether he's ready to go or not, it's probably how it pulls up tomorrow and moving the rest of the week from there.
I suppose the confidence if you can get the co-captain back on the side is a big boost.
Yeah, absolutely. Ollie's an outstanding player, brings plenty of run and grunt work inside for us as well. So any time that we have Ollie out there, we're a better team and we perform better. So if he gets up this week, it'd be great for us.
What's the mood been like this week, Tommy, coming off that really tough loss against the Giants on Sunday?
Yeah, we've been obviously reviewed it pretty well. Felt like we probably one that got away from us. We felt like we had our chances, particularly late in the game. We just didn't take them. So we sort of reviewed that, moved on really quick. Essendon's our focus now, and we know we've got to win this weekend, and we haven't looked too far past that.
What do you make of the Dons? In their last two games, they've, I think, kicked 4 and 5 goals in the first half, but then in the second half come out really strong, kicking 10 and 12 goals. Have you looked at that?
Oh, we've looked at, across the board. We'll do a little bit more this afternoon. Essendon's game style and the way they play. They're obviously finishing games really well and running over the top of teams. So you know that they're never out of it, but we want to go down there and play our way, play our footy that we know we can play, and our best footy's been some of the best footy we've seen all season.
Rocky, it's been a pretty ordinary week for both SA teams. Has your experience leading Brizzy for so long helped you deal with these sorts of patches?
I can't really talk for Adelaide and what it's been like for them, but for us internally, I know it's a really good club. Everyone enjoys coming to work. I think footy staff, whether a player or a coach or anything like that, everyone enjoys turning up, want to improve, want to get better. So it hasn't really affected us too much, to be honest. The week hasn't altered for us at all. We know that what we've got to do to win games of footy, and we're just not doing it consistently at the moment. As I said, we felt like we probably should have walked away with a win on the weekend. Didn't pan out that way, so there was positives to take out of it, but there was definitely room for improvement, areas to work on.
Is it hard to stay positive? I mean, you sort of dropped 4 of the last 5, I think it is. And is there drawings that you've taken in your experience that you can get around to some of the guys and say, well, we can navigate our way through it?
Yeah, I think obviously, I went through a pretty tough period up in Brisbane, but the thing that you can always fall back to is your preparation and your training work, and that sort of hasn't altered for us. And we've all been trying to get better, continue to improve in different areas. So that's I think what we fall back onto and gives ourselves a really good chance. And we had another really good session today to set us up for the weekend.
Is it a bit bittersweet looking at how good Brisbane are going at the moment with some of your old teammates up there and the success they're having it all?
Oh, look, I wish nothing but the best for Brisbane, and I've got some really good mates there, and I wish them all the best, and it's fantastic how well they've done this season. My focus is solely on Port Adelaide, though, and where we want to get to as a group, and we haven't been able to achieve that week in, week out this season to date, but we've still got a really good opportunity in the back 4 games of the season to set ourselves up to get to where we want to get to, and really looking forward to the challenge against Essendon this weekend.
Do they get into you with any of the old Brisbane boys? Like your mates, do they put your messages?
Nah, not really. Nah, we've obviously spoken. We played them a couple of weeks ago, and they're playing really good footy. I speak to a few of the guys up there quite regularly, and there's no feelings of untoward either way. Like, I enjoy them going well, and there's no banter back the other way to say about my decision 2 years ago.
Did you see them having such a meteoric rise when you left the club 2 years ago?
How quickly it's happened?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in the room could honestly sit here and say they expected Brisbane to be sitting second on the ladder at the moment, but I think they built some really good foundations with Chris Fagan and David Noble going to the club, and you can see the reward they've got for the complete buy-in and the work rate they've done. They've done really well at a couple of drafts now, and brought in some really good players as well. But as I said, my focus is here, and I feel like we've had a few good drafts year on year now, and we felt like we've brought in some quality as well. So I suppose I probably want to park that Brisbane stuff and focus on us and Essendon this week.
I saw you blokes sitting in the car boots down at Noarlunga watching Charlie and Stephen Morlock play on the weekend. What did you make of their performance? I think 7 goals between combined.
Yeah, I think everyone in the Magpies kept pressure on the AFL team. those two particularly because they went back and they performed really well. I think they did everything asked of them by the coaches, so they've set themselves up to push for selection again this weekend. So I think there's match committee this afternoon, and there's no doubt those two boys will put pressure on the coaches to select them again.
Would you like to see Charlie and Paddy up in a kind of bigger forward line? Because I think one of the issues in the loss to GWS was a lack of kind of that big forward presence. Would you like to see Charlie and Paddy and Scott kind of in the team all together, rotating around?
Yeah, I think for us we want our best mix, and we're still trying to figure that out at the moment and know what that is. And if that happens this weekend, then that's fantastic. I think not having Charlie there wasn't the reason we lost the game either. I think a little bit of delivery inside 50 wasn't great. They got their numbers back really well on that game and took a few intercept marks late in the game. So it's a little bit more about the connection of the midfielders and the forwards, and even the half-backers kicking the ball inside 50 to give ourselves the best opportunity to kick a winning score.
So what's the directive for someone like you who would have a fair amount of influence over the ball going inside or towards 50 per game? What's the ideal way that you want to move the ball forward?
Well, I think you've seen in our game style that we play a certain way, and when we're up and going, we're very clean with our hands and getting our backmen involved and our wingmen delivering that ball inside 50. So for us, it's just about going out there and playing our style, making sure that we exit stoppage really well. We probably don't want to quick kick as much as we have in the past, so we've got to continue to look at the best way to go inside 50 and a little bit of connection piece of knowing who the kicker is and the leading pattern and knowing who the forward is so that we can build those relationships. And it's talked about a lot within footy circles being the money kick, and there's no doubt that that's still the hardest kick in the game. That and the one for goal, they're the two hardest kicks in the game that I think every team still wants to get the best look.
So you're confident that it's not so much the forwards that are there, but the way that you guys can't quite get the ball to move the way that you want, that ends up with the frustrating ones that are easy to pick out, the kicks down the Dylan Grimes and the Phil Davis's throats?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think. I think we've had different looks, different personnel throughout the season down forward, but we've had our fair share of inside 50s, but we haven't been able to convert them into scores. And then our accuracy for goal hasn't been quite where we'd like it to be either. So there's no doubt there's a little bit of polish that we're lacking as a collective, going inside 50 and also finishing our work.
How impressed have you been with Dersma, Butters and Rosie as a trio? You've seen a lot of young guys coming up, I suppose. How good are those three?
Yeah, they're outstanding. Outstanding young men, first and foremost, but also the way they go about it, the way they train and play. And we're really lucky that we've got a number of kids that have come in this year. Boyd Woodcock, Marty Frederick, Kai Pudding. That they all want to get better. They all want to improve themselves. So it really gives life to the older guys as well. That you've got a really hungry next crop coming through, and that includes Willem Drew, Joe Atley and guys like that are sort of been on the fringes this year. They've come in and out, but they all want to get better and all want to improve. So there's no doubt that I think the footy club's in a really good position for that, and we've got some real momentum building.
How well does that set the club up? So if you don't play finals this year, the use of so many young kids this year, how well does that set the club up for the next couple of years if it doesn't quite come together this year?
Yeah, I think, as I said, we're really excited by the young talent that we've got through the doors in the last 2 or 3 years in our draft. So I think the footy club's in a really good position. As I said, it's a really happy environment. Everyone enjoys coming. Everyone wants to get better. So I think the footy club's in a really strong position. As I said, our best footy's been really good throughout the season. We just haven't been able to emulate that every week.
And that positivity, because that positivity's remained this week. I mean, odds would have you odds on to miss finals now. How do you manage that potential disappointment of it being seemingly out of reach, but also trying to keep your season alive?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, we've got to beat Essendon this weekend. We haven't shifted our focus from that. The Magpies don't have a game this weekend, so it's a whole club buy-in that we go down to Melbourne and get the job done this week, and our whole focus has been on Essendon. We haven't looked past that, so we're looking forward to Saturday afternoon to go down there and do our jobs.
As a playing group, Rocky, how did you handle at the start of the week when you had David Koch on radio on Monday saying that missed finals to fail, everyone will be under review, and then obviously Keith Thomas sending out an email to members, putting all the, I suppose, the blame back on himself. Ken Hinkley having to, front sort of hard stories himself about his position. As a playing group, do you take much notice of that stuff? Do you sort of feel the pressure building when you have senior members of the club speaking like that?
It's not for us to really speculate that sort of stuff. That's for the administration guys to take care of, and our job is to go out there and play footy and play it well consistently for 4 quarters, and we haven't been able to do that, as I said, which has been the most disappointing thing, because we feel like our best footy is good enough. We haven't been able to do that on a consistent basis, so you don't really get caught up in that too much. I'm not sure what the other guys are like, but if you catch yourself reading it too much, or you can start to buy into it and change your mindset off what your job is and what your focus is. And our job is to train really hard, prepare ourselves so that we can go out there and perform on the weekend and walk away with the 4 points.
What if there is that huge gap between your best when you've been in West Coast and Geelong and the worst which we've seen at times this season?
Yeah, well, I think the competition's so even, and I think there continues to be upsets throughout the season. So a lot of it is the opposition that we've come up at different times have played really good footy as well. It's not a lot, but we just haven't executed as well as we would have liked in those critical moments. And you speak about Grimes and those guys going back and taking intercept marks in the last quarters, and Davis last week. So it's just about us continue to look for improvement to make sure that our game style stacks up. And we feel like the game style does stack up. We just haven't been able to execute. But what holds us in good stead is that we've had back really good training weeks, and that's the most important thing. It sets ourselves up to be consistent and to go out there and perform really well on the weekend, and we feel like it's not far away at all.
Do you use about Watsy? How's Watsy going?
Yeah, really good. He's started running again. He's not too far away at all. When I say not too far away at all, like he's started to run and join in a little bit, so hopefully his rehab continues to progress in the right direction, and he's no more hiccups.
Is there a thought that he might be able to play again this season?
I'm not sure. I haven't probably had that conversation with him. I'm not sure whether he's had that conversation, but the positive thing is he's starting to run and get movement in that ankle.
One
Crouchy and Josh.
Just one more on Ken. Obviously, you don't pay too much attention to what's being said, but you're aware of the subject, and that's normally the senior coach when a team's not performing. Do players feel a sense of guilt's not the right word, but is there a bit of responsibility when you see the coach copying most of the heap, the performance of the team?
Yeah, well, I think you guys, that's your job to speculate on his future and so on. Our job is to go out there, and I know the playing group has complete faith in him, and I said it's a really good environment to come into. Ken has really good relationships with a lot of people within the footy club. The players look up to him. He's hard when he has to be hard, and he's fair when he has to be fair, but I think all the guys know where they stand with him, and you can't ask for anything else than that from a senior coach, a coach that cares about you, but will tell you how it is and have those conversations with you.
Do you embrace the underdog tag going in this week? You mentioned there's no sandful, so it's a big buy-in from the entire group. Do you embrace the on-the-road kind of back-against-the-wall underdog mentality?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit the Port Adelaide way, is that way, and we enjoy that, so we're looking forward to the challenge.